and welcome to another edition of News Showcase. I am Priya, Tamil Nadu's first artificial intelligence news presenter. A short session of India's parliament has begun and will last for 10 days. It opened with a customary speech by President Draupadi Murmu, and the session is the last before India votes in a general election in weeks from now. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman will present the interim budget before Parliament on Thursday, and the full budget will be unveiled after the polls. Congress Party's Sonia Gandhi attended the session, and Prime Minister Narendra Modi addressed news organizations before the session opened. On Tuesday, the suspension of the last 11 lawmakers from Parliament was lifted, and the government said it was prepared to address every topic that will be raised by the lawmakers. There is mounting speculation in the eastern state of Jharkhand that Chief Minister Hemant Soren's wife might succeed him if he is arrested in a money laundering case. If Kalpana Soren is named Chief Minister, it will be a replay of events in Bihar, where Lalu Prasad Yadav made way for his wife after his arrest in 1996 in a corruption probe. According to reports, lawmakers who support the administration have approved the plan, but there's concern that constitutional obstacles may arise. The political realities in the state changed dramatically on Tuesday after Soren was reportedly untraceable for several hours as federal investigators knocked on his doors in Delhi and Jharkhand. Soren faces arrest after he did not respond to multiple summons for questioning. A thick layer of fog descended upon Delhi, cutting visibility to nearly zero as numerous aircraft and train operations have been affected. Airport authorities said flight takeoffs and landings continued, but warned that aircraft without Cat-3 technology could be affected and urged travelers to get updates from airline operators. Earlier this month, the government introduced special measures to address inconvenience to air travelers. Video clips showed people gathered around bonfires to stay warm, as residents said the cold weather disrupted city bus services and other transport systems in the region. Indian Meteorological Department said similar conditions with heavy fog engulfed large swathes of North India, including the states of Punjab, Haryana, Rajasthan, and eastern Uttar Pradesh. It is not just the north of India that is hit by a cold wave. The scenic hill station of Ooty in Tamil Nadu is also experiencing unusual frosty weather conditions. According to the Weather Service, the temperature in the tourist destination was 1.7 degrees Celsius on Wednesday. The hill station is located in the lush Nilgiri district in the west of the state. Resorts line the winding roads up the hills, and the region is popular with tourists and nature lovers across India. The hill station is also home to military compounds and several international residential schools. According to a new report by Transparency International, the majority of the nations on the list of the most corrupt in the world have made little to no headway in combating corruption in the public sector. Based on the perception of public sector corruption, 180 nations and territories were assessed on a scale of 0 to 100, with 100 being the cleanest. Denmark topped the index for the sixth time in a row with a score of 90. With a score of 39, India came in at number 93, with its overall score staying relatively stable. North Korea was ranked last with a score of 172. Data from 13 sources, such as the World Bank and World Economic Forum, were used in the survey. Reports say Indian cricketer Mayank Agarwal is to be discharged from a hospital in the northeastern city of Agartala after an unexpected health scare. The batsman was taken ill after he drank from a bottle kept at his seat on a plane that was about to leave for Delhi. Reports said the player was rushed to hospital after he developed swelling and irritation in his throat. The hospital issued a statement on Tuesday stating that Agarwal remained under continued hospital observation and was in a clinically stable state. Some reports said the cricketer sought a police investigation into the incident. Private carrier Indigo released a statement without explaining the reason for the medical emergency. Local media in the Maldives reported that the country's Prosecutor General Hussein Shamim, who was appointed by the previous government, has been stabbed and wounded. The incident comes as President Mohamed Muizzu is the subject of an impeachment process started by the Maldivian Democratic Party of former President Ibrahim Mohamed Solih. The proceedings follow physical scuffles among lawmakers in parliament. President Muizzu is accused by the opposition party of having a pro-China stance, especially in light of the recent and contentious docking of a Chinese surveillance ship in the country. The MDP has denounced the change in policy, which is perceived as anti-India, and called it extremely detrimental to the long-term prosperity of the nation. Former Pakistan Prime Minister Imran Khan has been hit with another 14-year jail term, a day after he was handed a 10-year sentence for leaking state secrets. His wife, Bushra Bibi, also received a similar jail term for illegally selling state gifts for personal gains. Khan, who is already in jail for corruption since last August, said the multiple cases against him were driven by political reasons. It is anticipated that he will serve his sentences consecutively. The sentencing comes less than 2 weeks before the nation votes in an election that his party has been prevented from contesting. Following corruption investigations, Khan was compelled to step down in 2022 after losing the backing of the nation's formidable military, which is crucial to Pakistani politics. The political head of Hamas has declared that the group is considering a fresh idea to end hostilities in the Gaza Strip. Ismail Haniyeh said, Israel, the US, Qatar and Egypt have invited the group to negotiate a framework. It purports to offer a 6-week ceasefire, during which additional Israeli hostages will be traded for Palestinian detainees. Although Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu rejected them, Haniyeh emphasized that a permanent truce and a complete Israeli disengagement were Hamas's top demands. It was the Prime Minister's insistence that there could be no total victory in the war unless Hamas was destroyed and all hostages were freed. Israel has said about 26 of the 136 hostages, who are reportedly still being held, are thought to be dead. A news outlet quoting latest information says, since Israel began its reprisal for the Hamas strikes on October 7th, more than half of Gaza's buildings have been damaged or destroyed. Images before and after the military operation further demonstrates how Israel's military assault on Gaza has escalated, primarily affecting the city of Khan Yunis. Israel has warned repeatedly that Gazans should migrate south for their own protection. In Gaza, residential neighborhoods have been left in ruins, and once bustling commerce lanes have been reduced to rubble. The analysis pointed out that universities have been wrecked, farmlands have been churned up, and tent camps have sprung up on the southern border to house the thousands of homeless. An Iraqi extremist organization said it has suspended operations against the U.S. after a drone strike in Jordan killed 3 U.S. soldiers. Kataib Hezbollah, an organization with ties to Iran, stated it wanted to prevent embarrassment to the Iraqi government. U.S. President Joe Biden has said a decision has been taken about how to respond to the drone strike. Iran has threatened to respond violently if its interests came under attack. Tehran had earlier refuted claims by the US and the UK that it backed the militants. The US has hinted at a possible multi-wave armed response that might also target senior leaders of Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps in Syria or Iraq. Digital payment firm PayPal has announced that a further 2,500 jobs will be eliminated, a year after the company made a comparable cut. According to Chief Executive Officer Alex Chriss, the decision to right-size the business was reached through both direct reductions and the elimination of open roles. The company that dominates digital payments stated that the affected employees will be informed by the end of the week. PayPal is up against more and more competition from companies like Block, Zelle, and Apple. When PayPal released its first earnings results in November, they beat analyst estimates and gave investors some optimism that the company was starting to turn things around. The most recent job cuts by major companies come after tens of thousands of layoffs in recent months. The first ever assessment of snow leopards in India found that there are 718 of the animals in the country. The Environment Ministry said the survey indicates that between 10 and 15% of all snow leopards worldwide are found in India. The International Union for Conservation of Nature has given the snow leopard its vulnerability classification. Numerous factors, including habitat degradation, poaching, and infrastructural development, pose a threat to its population in the wild. The Snow Leopard Population Assessment in India program was conducted from 2019 to 2023. It was carried out as a component of the worldwide population assessment of the world's snow leopards, an endeavor to ascertain the population size of the animals. Thank you for watching. I am Priya, Tamil Nadu's first artificial intelligence news presenter. Do tune in, same time tomorrow, for a roundup of the latest news and updates in India and around the world.